What's going on, everybody? The hair here to talk about the 2020 Raiders season review, the review show. Yes, wearing an Undertaker shirt. So right off the bat, we'll get to it. Disappointing season, of course. They didn't do great, underperformed again. A lot of bad losses, and the main culprit everybody wants to blame it on, besides Derek, of course, because he's a very hot commodity as far as the blame game goes, is the defense. The defense is utterly atrocious. It's very bad. It's very, very, very bad. Horrible at that. And the thing is, people wanted to blame Paul Gunther, the curly-headed Fefa guy, right? That's not the case. Yeah, he wasn't great. Let's be honest about it. But he was a scapegoat in this. The fact of the matter is, um, you know, he's a coach. Players play. Yes, he instills the benefactors in the defense. Now, we're bad. We have zero pass rush. Again, people say we got Mad Max. What are you talking about? Mad Max would be a great secondary character. What I mean by that is we need a Khalil Mack type guy. Yes, that's honestly what we need, because we have zero pass rush. Our DBs are very bad too, god awful. They're very young. There's promise here and there, but they were always out of position. It's like we were playing man to man, and on a defense that doesn't necessarily know how to play man to man, or not know how to play it, but they don't have the personnel for it. They're not skilled enough to play man to man. So we switched to zone, and that's even worse. It's even worse because at the end of the day, they're just so young. Secondary doesn't know how to play it. And again, I could talk about Abram too. Everybody always talks to me, Raider fans especially, how can you shit on Abram? Not shitting on him. I'm saying what he's good at, which is hitting, striking, run defense at that, because he bites on everything. Me and my nephew, shout out to him, talk about it all the time. He's a great run defensive safety, if that even makes sense. He'd be better off playing linebacker, to be honest, putting on 40 pounds playing linebacker, because he's a heat-seeking missile. As far as coverage goes, he's atrocious too. He bites on everything. I guarantee if I was playing quarterback, I did one of those head fakes, he would bite on it. I mean, he did that a few times. That cost us games. Looking at the KC game especially, bit on the hit so hard that Kelsey was wide open. We could beat the Chiefs twice. That's how crazy it was. But again, he bites on everything. We need a really good free coverage, free safety to complement Abrams, who is a pretty decent run coverage, strong safety. We need that safety net. Yeah, exactly. No pun intended. That safety net for him, because he bites on everything. But currently, right now, our personnel, it's just not good enough. There's just no way. And the coaching isn't great either. Even Gruden had a lot of mishaps too. Gruden did not have a really good season this year. He started off great. We're 6-4, 6-3, whatever we were, and then just fell off again, just like the previous year. So changes definitely need to be made. I think it definitely starts with defense first. We talked about how we might be able to get a pass rusher. If it's with trade, it's with free agency. Bring Mac back. Give him a first round pick. Give him a second round pick too. Whatever it takes. His value can't be as high as when we traded him, because their team isn't good either. And he's not Mr. Best defensive guy on the field at all times like he was back then. He's not getting that same glamour as he was prior. Also, I wouldn't mind bringing him back at all. I think that would definitely benefit Max. Now, if we don't do that, then I could definitely see us doing that in the draft. Draft needs to be defense heavy. Now, as far as Carr goes, he's the big question mark in the room, because he's a guy that doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of mistakes, but also doesn't do anything to necessarily win every game possible. And people say, well, what about the Jets game? That Jets game looked very suspect, as the kids say. Very, very suspect, to say the least. Man, I think he's a decent quarterback that'll always be a decent quarterback. Will never put you over the hump. Nothing against him. He's a great guy. But I think we do need some young stud to come in. Mariota looked okay that past game. Of course, was a little bit off, but he hadn't played football in a year. And I still think he's good as a backup quarterback too. That might even be Carr's thing too. His numbers are very inflated, but we're just always coming from behind. A lot of 2-3 yard passes, man. And I can see where people would say we got to start all over again, and I think that too. He's a decent quarterback. He's better. He knows the system and all that. But man, I think it's different having someone with wheels on him. Carr has wheels too, but doesn't use them. Um, I'm not sure. I wouldn't even mind seeing Fitzmagic out there just because he's such a gunslinger and he's a winner. And again, not talking shit on Carr, but I think as we do keep him, we're not going to go anywhere. I'm not saying we could possibly make the playoffs, possibly if the defense fixes. I just don't see us getting past first round, if that makes sense. We need a young, strong stud. Look at the guys right now. You have the Allens of the world killing it. You have the Patrick Mahomes of the world killing it. Lamar's of the world killing it. It's just crazy. The kids are killing it. Not that Carr is old, but I think we know who he is already. He is who he is. We know who he is. It is what it is. That's just nature of the beast. We know who he is, unless he makes a traumatic leap when he's 30 years old. Who knows? Maybe that he'll do it. He'll do the Gannon thing, right? But I don't know. I think we do need to revamp this stuff. Obviously, it's not working. People say, "Hey, maybe Gruden should let go of the reins." It's not gonna happen. He's on a 10-year deal. It's just not gonna happen. But I can definitely see us picking a quarterback late in the draft, but hopefully we go hard and heavy in the beginning on defense. We need, obviously a pass rusher, some linebacking help too. We need a lot of help on that defense. So again, not a great season, not a fun season, even with COVID and all that. We can't blame it on that. To be honest, everybody had to go through, not just us, and some teams excelled very much so. We hired Gus Bradley. Again, that's previewing 2021. But again, I'm not super ecstatic about it, but who knows? Maybe he'll do great. So who knows? Want to keep positive attitude, but I want to see changes definitely 100%. So we shall see what happens. That's the review on it. Again, disappointing, but hopefully we make trades and free agent signings and good draft picks. So that's how you build a good team. So we'll see. Hopefully 2021 we can get some kind of playoff berth, even if it's a wild card. Let's just do it. Here out.